Good evening. We are on Friday the 21st of January 2022. I'm going to continue reading from Infiltration by Taylor Marshall. The foreword is already up there on YouTube, but I'm going to pray before I begin because I don't really always like what I'm reading. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Holy Michael, Archangel, defend me in this day of battle. Be my safeguard against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, I humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust down to hell Satan and all the wicked evil spirits who wander through the world for the ruin of souls. Amen. Sorry about any background noise. My neighbour upstairs has her son staying from Australia. I'm so glad that he came to see her and was able to leave Australia. So you will hear noises because he's quite noisy. She's very quiet. You don't normally hear her unless she wants any help, then she'll knock loudly. So I'm sorry if you, and the ducks have gone, it's getting dark. So I'll begin with one or two prayers before I read the chapter that I'm going to share today. Prayers from the Old Testament, prayer for mercy and forgiveness. You are just, O Lord, and all your judgments are just, and all your ways are mercy and truth and judgment. And now, O Lord, think of me, and take not revenge of my sins, neither remember my offences, nor those of my parents, for we've not obeyed your commandments. Therefore are we delivered to captivity and death, O Lord. Do with me according to your will, and command my spirit to be received in peace. For it is better for me to die than to live. You are great, O Lord, for ever, and your kingdom is unto all ages. For you scourge and you save, you lead down to hell and bring up again, and there is none that can escape your hand. That was from Tobias 32. Prayer against temptation. O Lord, Father and sovereign ruler of my life, leave me not to the temptations of my enemies, nor suffer me to fall by them. Who will set scourges over my thoughts, and the discipline of wisdom over my heart, lest my ignorance increase, and my offences be multiplied, and my sins abound, and my enemy rejoice over me? O Lord, Father and God of my life, lead me not to their snares. Give me not pride of my eyes, and turn away from me all coveting. Take from me the greediness of the belly, and let not the lusts of the flesh take hold of me. And give me not over to a shameless and foolish mind. That was from Ecclesiasticus 23. Prayer for mercy. Hear, O Lord, and have mercy, for you are a merciful God. Have pity on us, for we have sinned before you. You remain forever, and shall we perish everlastingly? O Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, think upon your hand and upon your name at this time. For you are the Lord our God, and we shall praise you, O Lord. Baruch 3. Prayer that God may be glorified. Have mercy on us, O God of all, and behold us, and send us the light of your mercies, and send your fear upon the nations that have not sought after you, that they may know that there is no God beside you, and that they may show forth your wonders. Lift up your hand over the strange nations, that they may see your power. For as you have been sanctified in us, in their sight, so you shall be praised among them in our presence, that they may know you, that there is no God beside you, O Lord, Renew your signs and work new miracles. Glorify your hand and your right arm. Hasten the time and remember the end, that they may declare your wonderful works. Have mercy on your people, upon whom your name is called. Reward them that patiently await you, and hear the prayers of your servants. Amen. From Ecclesiasticus 36. I'm now going to share with you from this book. I'm sure you know it now because we've been reading it. Chapter 28. But before I begin, I'm going to share with you Taylor Marshall wrote the book and did a lot of research, and he also included this on page 4. Infiltration by Taylor R. Marshall. He's a doctor of the church, studied. The plot to destroy the church from within. The foreword is by Bishop Athanasius Snyder, and it's already out there. If you do not believe that Satan exists, put down the book, or in this instance turn off this video or audio. Moreover, if you believe that the Catholic Church can be purified merely by updated rules, policies and canonical procedures, you will find little promise in the historical diagnosis and proposed cure found in this book or in the video or audio on it. St. Paul stated, "For we are not contending against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against powers, against the world rulers of this present darkness, against the spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." Ephesians 6 verse 12. The crisis of the Catholic Church relates to the intrusion of these rulers of this present darkness, and she can only be purified by sanctified warfare against the demonic. Most people these days don't believe in Satan, let alone demonic, yet he's everywhere, in lots of people. A reading, chapter 8, from this book, RATZINGER versus BERGOGLIO, in the Papal Conclave of 2005. Pope John Paul II died on 2nd of April 2005. His death signalled global mourning for the man who was truly the first televised Pope. Joseph Cardinal Ratzinger, as Dean of the College of Cardinals, preached at the Pope's funeral and was considered as a likely candidate for Pope in the following conclave. The Papal Conclave met from 18th to 19th of April 2005. John Paul II had relaxed the rules for the conclave so that the cardinal electors could move freely, dine and sleep in the air-conditioned individual rooms of Casa Santa Marta, the 5-story hotel built in 1996 for visiting clergy. There were at the time 183 cardinals, but only 117 cardinals under the age of 82. My apologies. 2 were absent on account of bad health. Jaime Cardinal Sin of the Philippines and Adolfo Antonio Cardinal Suarez Rivera of Mexico, bringing the number of electors to 115. Of these, only 2 electors, Cardinal Ratzinger and Cardinal Baum, had not been appointed cardinals by John Paul II due to the rule changes made by Paul VI that only cardinals under 80 may vote. With 115 cardinal electors, the 2/3 majority required would be 77 votes. One ballot was counted in the afternoon of the first day of the conclave, and then 3 more ballots on the next day. So I've turned 2 pages. An anonymous cardinal provided his diary to an Italian journalist in September 2005. If it can be trusted, it gave the following votes for the first ballot, and it's got it in very small type above the word ballot, 158, but whether that's relevant or not, I don't know. And at the bottom it says Andrea Tornelli to Diagro Segreto del Intimo Conclave, La Stampa, 27th of July 2011. There's a book on it. Anyway, I'm going to read the votes that they received. Joseph Ratzinger, 47 votes. George Bergoglio, 10 votes. Carlo Maria Martini, 9 votes. Camillo Ruini, 6 votes. Angelo Sodano, 4 votes. Oscar Maria Diaga, 3 votes. Dionigi Tetamanzi, 2 votes. Giacomo Biffi, 1 vote, and the others 33 votes. Notice George Bergoglio in 2nd place. These 10 votes are undoubtedly the Sankt Gallen Mafia members. The second ballot on the following morning, Ratzinger 65 votes, Bergoglio 35 votes, Sodano 4 votes, Tetamanzi 2 votes, Biffi 1 vote, and others 8 votes. 24 new votes appeared for Bergoglio in the second ballot. Note well that all the votes for Cardinal Martini, 9 votes, Cardinal Ruini, 6 votes, and Cardinal Maradiaga, 3 votes, tallying up to 18 votes, have been withdrawn and given to Cardinal Bergoglio. This shows that at this point these 3 men had instructed their followers to rally to Bergoglio. The third ballot, also in the morning, counted as follows: Ratzinger 72 votes, Bergoglio 40 votes, Dario Castrillon Hoas 1 vote, and others 2 votes. Bergoglio managed to gain another 5 votes. but the great majority rallied to Ratzinger to block Bergoglio. After this third ballot, it became clear that Ratzinger would need only 5 more votes, or a compromise candidate would need to emerge to break the gridlock. There were only 3 votes still up for grabs between Bergoglio and Ratzinger. As the votes moved toward Cardinal Ratzinger, he recalled, "I prayed to God, please don't do this to me." Evidently this time he didn't listen to me. That afternoon the 4th and final ballot counted as follows: Ratzinger 84 votes, Bergoglio 26 votes, Biffy 1 vote, Bernard Law 1 vote, Christoph Schonborn 1 vote, others 2 votes. Surprisingly, at least 14 cardinals retreated from Bergoglio in this 4th ballot when it became clear that Ratzinger had the most support. Ratzinger won easily with 84 votes, 7 more than he needed to capture the 2/3 majority. The St. Gallen Mafia failed in their goal to elect Cardinal Bergoglio. At the bottom it said, "Alan Pizzi Benedict, I prayed not to be Pope." CBS News, 11th of February 2009. That's typical of that humble, wonderful man. So that's the end of chapter 28. Next time it will be chapter 29, Infiltration and the Plot against Benedict, and those pages are from 213 to not very many in those either, so I wonder whether I should actually join them together, because it's not very long. So yes, I think I will read chapter 29. Infiltration and the Plot against Benedict the 16th. It is the role of the Dean of the College of Cardinals to ask the elected candidate if he accepts the papacy. Since Cardinal Ratzinger was the Dean of the College, that task fell to the Vice Dean, Angelo Cardinal Sodana. The Cardinal Proto-Deacon George Medina emerged on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and announced the election of Cardinal Ratzinger, and that he had chosen the name Benedict XVI in honour of both Pope Benedict XV and Saint Benedict of Nursia. Pope Benedict XVI's reputation as a scholar endured when he wrote 3 encyclicals, Deus Caritas Est, Spe Salvi and Caritas in Veritate, rooted in the theological virtue. He ruffled liberals by returning to the papal dress and ceremonies not seen since the days of Pope Pius XII. How wonderful! Such as the red shoes, the Camaro, and the red Capello Romano. Well done, Pope Benedict XVI. 2 years into his pontificate, Benedict XVI issued his controversial motu proprio Summorum Pontificum, which stated that the traditional pre-Latin 2 Latin Mass, commonly known as the Tridentine Mass, had never been abrogated or forbidden. He clarified that all Catholic priests can and may celebrate the traditional Latin Mass according to the Missal of 1962. He explained that the 1969 Novus Ordo Mass of Paul VI remained the ordinary form of the Roman Rite, and that the 1962 Mass would be the extraordinary form of the Roman Rite, and that these two forms should mutually enrich each another. The document was met with relief and praise from traditionalists who had avoided the gaze of non-accommodating bishops for 40 years. In a way, Summorum Pontificum exonerated the now deceased Archbishop Lefebvre, who had insisted that the Missal of 1962 was never formally abrogated when Paul VI issued the Novus Ordo Missae in 1962. To substantiate this further, Pope Benedict XVI formally remitted the excommunications of the 4 bishops of Lefebvre's Society of St. Pius X SSPX, which you can see on YouTube. And that was done on 21st of January 2009. This remission was made without the 4 bishops repenting of their consecrations in 1988 at the hands of Archbishop Lefebvre, without papal mandate from John Paul II. It seemed that Ratzinger was now untying a knot that had been tied in May 1988, when communications between Lefebvre and him broke down. Most bishops of the world did not favour Benedict's remission of the SXPX excommunications. 6 months later, Pope Benedict XVI issued his Motu Proprio Ecclesias Unitatum, in which he explained his reason for lifting the excommunications and clarified the status of the SSPX. The remission of the excommunication was a measure taken in the context of ecclesiastical discipline to free the individuals from the burden of conscience constituted by the most serious of ecclesiastical penalties. However, the doctrinal question obviously remains, and until they are clarified, the Society has no canonical status in the Church, and its ministers cannot legitimately exercise any ministry. And the point in footnote 160 says, the final line in Latin reads, et etius ministri nullum ministerium legitime agere possunt. Some critics of the SXPX have wrongly translated this as, and its ministers have no legitimate ministry. But the Latin legitime is an adverb, so it means, and its ministers cannot legitimately perform any ministry. This means that the SXPX still lacks canonical status licitly, not that its ministry is invalid or illegitimate in the English sense of the term. Benedict XVI seemed intent on bringing the spiritual children of Levevre into regular canonical status. Well done, Benedict XVI. That's a good thing. He handwrote a note to their superior, Bishop Bernard Fellay, in June 2012, assuring him of the canonical structure of a personal prelature such as Opus Dei. If he and the Society of St. Pius X would recognise the documents of Vatican II, Bishop Fellay responded that it was impossible for them to affirm the Council's doctrine on religious freedom. Communications between the SSPX and Benedict XVI seem to have completely broken down by the end of the year. So that's the end of chapter 29. I will not continue with chapter 30. It's probably much longer. It's a bigger subject. Infiltration of the Vatican Bank and the butler of Pope Benedict XVI, and that goes from page 217, yes, for several pages it goes through to page 222, so that will be the next one. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your comments and sharing, and may you always be happy and joyful in the Lord. And we've still got a lot to learn and a lot to pray for. We need to pray for Pope Francis and Pope Benedict XVI and the whole Church against whatever the devil's trying to do. But he will fail. We have the victory on the cross. God bless you all. Thank you.